Am I the asshole for telling my BF I won't marry him if he keeps his friendship with my ex? So my BF Dylan and I have been dating for almost 5 years, and he proposed 9 months ago. We've known each other since high school, however. At the time we were only friends since I was dating my ex, Jason. Long story short, he cheated multiple times and we broke off. That's when I went to college, where I started dating Dylan. They only knew each other from high school but never had an actual friendship. Well, Dylan decided to host a party in order to celebrate our engagement, and one of his friends brought Jason. And surprise, surprise, they became friends. Now they text every day, go out on the weekends, or even have dinner together constantly. At first, I didn't think too much of it, but now I am uncomfortable. I talked about this with Dylan after he came back home from work. I established that his friendship with Jason is concerning to me and how he spends more time with him, but told me I was exaggerating. We kinda had an argument about how Jason cheated and lied to me for years and how could he be okay with that. He said that people can change and that he didn't mean it, blah blah blah. We didn't talk much after that, but then he apologized and told me he'll take me to dinner at my favorite restaurant the next day in order to compensate for the time we haven't had these weeks. I was really excited. I even went to get my hair done and bought a really pretty dress that afternoon. We'd see each other at the restaurant since he can't get out of work earlier. Well, an hour passed and there was no sign of him. I started to get worried and called him repeatedly. Then he arrived, looking terrible. He was drunk and even smelled like cigarettes. I asked him where he was at and tried to avoid the question. I asked him again and his guilty face told me everything. He was with Jason. I was livid and left the restaurant. We had an argument outside and he confessed that he'd promised Jason to go with him to visit this new bar at his house and didn't want to fail him. But I said it seemed he cared more about him than us, that he should get married to him if he is that important. He said he was the only one who understands him, not like me. I exploited and told him that if he doesn't cut him off then I won't marry him. He started crying and called me an AH for putting him in that position, then he left. Now his mom and sister are calling me also the AH and manipulative of his life. I am at my sister's house but I really don't know if what I did makes me the AH or not. Edit. Jason called me. He asked me if we could see each other to talk about something. He didn't disclose what it was, but he said it was important. Edit. I added the update as a comment since some of you were asking where was it. I wasn't sure if I could actually write an update. I'm not fine, this has been so much, but you all pretty much wanted to know if I was okay, and thank you to those who sent supportive messages. I really appreciate it. So for the update. We went to a coffee shop near my house and we talked. He said that he was sorry for what Dylan did and that if he had known Dylan had a plan with me already, he'd have canceled immediately. Because he cares for me and that he was sorry for our past issues, that he has changed, and he's a better man now. I went straight to the point and asked him what he wanted. He continued by saying that he only was telling me this because he cares and wants me to be happy. The thing is that Dylan is gay, not bi-gay. Jason has known since high school because he cheated on me with Dylan. I knew Jason was a cheater because someone sent me pics of him kissing other girls, but I never saw him with a guy so I didn't know he was bi. He said it was just a fling and cut contact with him after it and for a long time. Then Dylan reached out to invite him to a party, yes, our engagement party, where he cheated on me with Jason again. We didn't live together at the time, so when I thought he was in his house, he was actually banging him. Jason realized what they did was wrong, and that he didn't want me to be with an AH like Dylan. So he flirted with Dylan in order to make him leave me so I could find someone who can actually treat me the way I deserve. At first he thought Dylan will do it, but little by little realized he won't let me go cause he is so afraid to tell the world he is gay. Jason threatened him that if he loved him he'd leave me. Dylan refused, so Jason pretended to lose interest in him. Dylan became obsessed and afraid he'd leave, so every time he could he'd talk to him, see him, etc. But since he never confessed his true self he decided to tell me, so I just don't waste more time with him. I couldn't hold my tears, I was so heartbroken I didn't realize Jason was hugging me. Continued saying that he was sorry but I needed to know the truth and that if I ever need anything I can call him. I left and packed all my stuff from the house. I took everything and went back to my sister's. There's still no sign of Dylan, he hasn't even called or texted. Nothing, and I'm starting to believe what Jason said, it's actually true, and I am feeling betrayed, lied to, and mad. I don't know what to do next, but at least I know the truth. Thank you for reading. Hi, I really don't know completely how to use Reddit or knowing something about Reddit etiquette. Sorry if it's not the usual way to see an update. I didn't plan on posting again, but my sister asked me to give you a final update so I could have some closure. She told me about this forum, so all credits to her, I guess. I didn't intend to make this a conflict for the LGBTQ+ community. Saw comments harassing them. So please stop. It's because of it that some still are afraid of revealing their preferences, which can lead to situations like mine. I also receive supportive and harassing DMs about how I'm a drama queen, my story is BS, how I couldn't realize that Dylan was gay, and things like that don't occur in real life. Spoiler, shit like that can happen, and it hurts when people minimize that. I'm not saying that you should believe everything, but people write their situations to understand what they did wrong. And for you to simply reduce their pain just because you haven't experienced something like that, it's petty. Try to give the benefit of the doubt to those reaching out. You don't know the impact of your comments. With that being said, I guess I owe you an update. Dylan never called me, so I decided to force him on telling me the truth. He was with a friend, that friend told me, so I visited him. He didn't want to talk to me, but I insisted. He started by saying he was sorry, he needed to clear his head and then we'll come back home. I told him it wasn't necessary, I didn't want to get married anymore. He was mad and started reclaiming me. I told him that I knew everything about Jason and him and how a coward he was for using me to hide his sexuality. He was crying, saying that it was BS, Jason's lying, that I want to belittle him. After a few minutes, gave up and implored me to not tell his family or anyone. I said I wouldn't do it, but still I won't marry him. I gave him the ring, but he grabbed my hand, told me how could I do this to him, that I want to hurt him, I owed him this. I asked him to let me go, he was hurting me, but he didn't. My friend had to pull us apart. Dylan was screaming and getting aggressive, saying that I should stop lying. I cheated on him with Jason and I wanted to blame him by saying he's gay when he isn't. My friend told him to get out and he did. After it, his fam called asking what I'd done to him, calling me a liar and a snake. Told them to talk to Dylan, and if they continue harassing me, I'd get the police involved. Jason also reached out, sent me flowers, and I threw them away. I told him to leave me alone and never contact me again if he didn't want me to get a restraining order. I haven't heard from them since that. DK, how to go start fresh. We were supposed to get married on July 5th. Damn, I'm supposed to pick up my dress this weekend. My mom and sis told me they'll help me with it, but they'll need me cause I paid for it, so I'm the only one who can cancel. Today I cut my hair and cried on the way back. I'm crying while writing this too. It's been so much and I feel like shit. So I guess that's it. Sorry the post got long.